Good morning. This is Monday 7:07. Thank you for tuning in. It's another amazing week that you've got to transform your life and transform this beautiful world that we live in for the better. Okay? Now, two things. I got some great news for you. Today is the final episode of season 1. I hope you've enjoyed this week. This year, sorry. It's been amazing when we have been doing a lot. We've grown as a YNL team, and from next week Monday we are going to have a reloaded season 2. Okay, more about that later, but for now I want to talk to you about finishing what you started. Okay, now if you've been following me on social media, I've been going through this thing where I've been doing 25 push-ups in 25 days, awareness for PTSD and people who are going through depression, a cause that I really believe in. And I started very well, day 1, day 2, up to day 10, and man, day 12, 13, 14, it's been difficult. Okay, those of you who've done the challenge, you know the challenges that come with that challenge. And I was asking myself, okay, so I've skipped a couple of days, yes, I confess. And I've been asking myself, so should I continue? Is there a point? Should I tell people? Should I ignore and pretend nothing has happened? But as I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what, let me share my challenges that I'm going through. And I want to tell you this. This is an epiphany that came to me. Finish what you started, okay? It's not always easy to finish what you started. Sometimes things happen, either we get lazy or internal things happen or life just happens, There are external factors that are beyond your control that take you off your course. And they make it difficult for you to stay on the course that you promised that you would. But I want to tell you this. If you don't develop a habit of finishing what you started, it creates what I like to call perceived incapabilities. All right? You create a perceived deficiency inside yourself. When you look at tall people, for instance, tall people tend to slouch because they think they want to come down to the level of other people. They believe it's a deficiency. Short people tend to want to look up, and they tend to probably sometimes have a poor attitude and have this inferiority complex because they believe people are looking down on them. Dark people, like me, for example, sometimes want to bleach themselves because they think, I'm too dark. They see it as a deficiency. So here's what happens. When you walk into the game, when you walk into the arena of life, you're already walking in thinking that you're short-handed. You're walking in thinking that you're disadvantaged. And let me tell you, that is half the fight. When you walk in without the confidence that you can win, that's half the fight already lost. Now, when you don't finish a project, it creates a perceived deficiency inside yourself. So on top of all the other factors that you have to think about, all the other mathematics that you need to do about this project, you also factor in an internal deficiency of, and by the way, I don't have a track record of finishing what I started. So there's a possibility I might not finish this just for my own reasons. So when you throw that into the mix, you're reducing the probability of you completing anything that you start. So here's the thing. Do you have a project that you're working on? Have you gone to school, started a course that you have not finished? Finish it. Have you started something that you promised someone you were going to do? You made a promise to someone and you didn't deliver? Do it. Are you in a place where you said I will and you didn't? You said I do and you don't? Finish the projects that you start, because it creates an internal confidence that, you know what, if I commit to something, I'm going to do it. And here's the other thing. When you make a habit of finishing everything that you start, you're going to take much longer before you commit. You're going to consider much more before saying, yes, I'll do it. When someone tells you, let's meet next week on Monday, you're not very quick to say, yes, we'll meet next week on Monday. Why? Because you know your word is your bond. So you will train yourself to take a bit longer, to put a bit more thought into your commitments. You're going to get into far less commitments than you're getting into, because you know whatever I say I do, whatever I say I will, I must. And that is a mark of greatness. All right? So this is your next level, season 1. The last episode, and I'm telling you, finish strong, finish what you began, and you won't regret it. Keep growing, stay inspired. This is Victor Machoka. See you next season. Cheers.